It's finished at Sunderland. Manchester United have done all they can. That Rooney goal was enough for the 3 points. Manchester City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again. So watch it, drink it in.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to see you again. My name's Martin Tyler. I'm a football commentator for a long time now. I tell people who I've never met before, and they ask me what I do. I say I shout goal for a living. That's my job.
So, and you watched Son's playing since 2015 in the stadium. How do you think about his development as a forward or striker?
Was always running for the team, pressing high up the field, which is an important way Pochettino particularly wanted to play, and obviously Antonio Conte now as well. Commentating on, as you've asked me here, there are plenty of times where as a commentator, and you will know this, that you go, oh, I wish I was commentating then.
Yeah.
I would love to have commentated on the Burnley goal, because it was a supreme player. My favourite Korean player?
We had Park Ji-sung and then Ki Sung-young, Lee Chung-young, many great players. Is there any Korean player who you remember and great moments, great goals? Is there anything?
My favorite Korean player, Song Jong-guk. Is that right? That's how I said it right?
Song Jong-guk, yes.
Yeah, from the World Cup in 2002.
Yeah,
he played. I believe he played every minute of the tournament. Then went into Dutch football, and then maybe had some injuries, and it was. But he looked like two players. He played like two players. He never stopped working. I believe he had the chance to go to Tottenham, so he could have been ahead of Son Heung-min in the history of Tottenham, and that it didn't happen, and he was very disappointed about that. But that World Cup, I was very lucky to be in South Korea for the games, and it was. I just thought the ability was there, the commitment was there. It's a sort of. I would love to have him alongside me in a football team, because he he would never waste a moment, you know. And I know he's perhaps not the most fashionable player. Maybe you're a little bit surprised that I've said that, but I have very, very good memories. And I know who's sitting, and obviously we talked about him at the time, you know. So that for me, it's maybe not a fashionable choice, but you asked me for my choice. And I've never forgotten what he brought to that tournament, and what I thought about him at the time.
I mean, yeah, I think I should send this video to him. I mean, he will be very proud, and then Korean fans will be very proud, I think, to hear. And then it shows that you care about. I mean, you are interested in Korean football. It's 20 years ago, exactly 20 years ago now.
I know, and I've never forgotten being in South Korea, and I've never been back since. And I had a fantastically warm reception from everybody. I mean, not just people who knew what I did, but people, just the general people at hotels and drivers who would take me to the games. And we had a bit of a language problem, but we always got our messages across. And I hope in my time still left as commentator, maybe I'll get another chance to come out and see the football in your country.
So 20 years ago, you visited South Korea, right? Yeah, for the World Cup, and you told me that you commentated the game before the World Cup, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
When Park Ji-sung scored, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has been a great ambassador, of course. It would be easy to say that he's an unsung hero in this country, but I don't think he is. I think everybody knew he was a go-to guy for Alex Ferguson. You know, if he needed a job doing and could trust the player, and some maybe more obvious talented players, but his his attitude and his ability would be too easy just to talk about the attitude. He was a very talented player, and yeah, that was on the island when England played, wasn't it? The game before the World Cup, and yeah, he scored. And I have to say, it's again, you just remember these things. We are lucky in our jobs. We get to go to places where the places are perhaps less important than the football that happens in that place. You know, sometimes we've gone through and we've come out the other side, and all we've seen is the football. But it's what we're sent for to do. And yeah, he scored a good goal, and England didn't do as well in the World Cup as South Korea did. So it was an omen.
Yeah. Okay. Before I move on to from Korean questions and another questions, let me ask you last question about Korea.
Top level football in the Premier League and internationally takes so much. You have to have ability, of course. You have to have character. You have to have desire. You have to be able to have a body that can withstand all the physicality of it. And both of those guys have been great athletes as well. And obviously we expect to see more of Son in the years to come as well. And Park's time has come and gone, but he's left an indelible mark in the history of Manchester United and from the South Korean point of view in English football as well. So I think they're both outstanding competitors. They have all the attributes to get to the top, and so few do get to the very top, and they have both done that.
Okay, thank you very much for your honest opinion about Korean players. And let us move to the topics in general. And before I ask you about your career, let me ask you just one thing, because about Aguero, the goal. You know, when I tried to translate what you said in that moment, it's really hard to translate, because you said, especially the expression you said, so watch it and drink it in. You said that, right?
I did.
Can you explain what do you mean? I mean, it's really, I think it came from your deep heart, so it's really hard to translate it.
Yeah, it's hard to explain.